Hello, Saber people. I have another one to show off. It's a commission build, and it's a bit of a storied one. Comes with a bit of history to it. So this is a Starkiller commission from Adam, and this hilt is probably one of the more unique ones I've actually ever worked on. This is it. So we're not entirely sure who made this. We think it may be a prototype from Phoenix Props way back in the day, or it could just be like a random hilt made by someone as like a one-off project. No idea, but it's gorgeous. It's great, and this has been through some hands. So this originally surfaced on Bluemamba's channel. So Bluemamba had this one. I don't know where he got it from. No idea. He did some weathering to it. He beat it up a bit. I think there were some holes drilled in it at one point, and then it was sent over to Starlightsabers for repairs and kind of upgrades, because originally this Graflex clamp in the middle was not there, so that was added to cover up some holes that had been kind of haphazardly cut into the body of it, which was screwing with the sound venting. These holes and divots down here, they were originally holes, and he filled them in and then drilled them out again. And like all over this has got loads of character. There's loads of kind of weird little intricacies that made it all look very, very unique. So I can see why Adam gravitated towards this one. And then as the final kind of bit of icing on the cake, it was sent over to Adam from kennedycustomprops, who's done a gorgeous crystal chamber for it. And so I started talking to Adam about this one a few months ago, and we decided that I would pick it up and do an install for it with a custom chassis, as well as kind of ripping everything out and updating it and making it all nice and shiny. Previously, this was running with a 3D printed chassis that was okay, but it was kind of epoxied in place. Things were falling out of it a little bit. The switches had totally failed. There was problems all over the place. So we kind of gutted it, did a fresh install, and now it's up and running. And I'm happy to say that I'm actually really happy with the final outcome. So let's do a quick rundown. What I did on the exterior, I shaved down some of the screws up top here because they were protruding into the top of the hilt. So I managed to get a matching screw set up top so that you can actually get a blade in and out without a problem, because one of the screws was mismatched, which was a strange place to start. Added in the Graflex pins for you, picked those up from the Saber Armory and chucked those in, because obviously there were no pins before, it was empty. Did an entirely new switch holder mechanism under this control box that holds 2 new tactile switches. Super clicky, super responsive. Lit up the crystal chamber with a 5mm Nano neopixel from Saber Armory. I installed the Shtok V3 and neopixel emitter, which is kind of down inside behind the blade plug. Speaking of the blade plug, I also did a repair on that because it had previously been taken out with a hacksaw, so it was totally busted, so that needed repairing as well. Did the full install into a chassis down here, and I think that's pretty much it. So if I just unscrew it, it's a bit snug just because of the way the chassis is. It's a little bit on the wide side, but it's fine, it's not causing any problems. So unscrew it, a lot of threads, and then there we go. This is the custom chassis that I designed and printed for this one. Adam let me try a couple things with this. So this was my first time actually printing a chassis of my own design in nylon. I typically tend to print them in FDM on my own printer, but kind of to step up the quality a little bit and make it a bit nicer, we opted to print it in nylon. So that's pretty much it. Kept things simple. We've got some accent lighting running along the side, along with resin printed diffusion covers that I designed and printed as well. And that's pretty much it. It's kind of bog standard chassis, holds your stuff. It's now no longer epoxied in place here. It's held in place with 2 brass threaded rods. I had to drill out the holes in this lower section to accommodate the rods and make sure that they would fit, because originally it was tapped with like an M3.5 thread or something like that, and it wasn't giving enough tension, like the chassis was loose and all over the place. So I widened the holes and instead went with 2 brass rods that had been fitted in. I also fitted in brass rods behind this crystal chamber because you had some missing gaps at the back, which complement the crystal chamber nicely. Yeah, I think that's probably all I can say about it without turning it on. You got your brushed chrome 18650 battery, a kill switch, high-amp kill switch. This is a Smuggler's Outpost 28mm speaker, 28mm bass speaker, Proffie 2.2, some Nano neopixel accent strips running down the sides, and then obviously the single neopixel that lights up the crystal chamber. So I think I might just boot it on, and away we go. So this is the first font you wanted, which is the Starkiller one. In terms of fonts on this guy, it's pretty simple. You had a few that you wanted on there in particular, so I put those on. And I've also put on the full Kybers Workshop suite of fonts so that you have a few different colors to pick from as well. Top button is going to be your power, bottom button is going to be your auxiliary. It's using the FET263 button prompt, which I will send over to you so you can reference that whenever you're doing anything with it. But it's pretty straightforward. I'll just go through to a font that we like the look of and fire it up.
I'm ready. Balan Skull.
Through Balan Skull. So obviously the accent lighting changes for every single font. Crystal matches on each font as well. And when you boot up, there's all sorts of animations and stuff. And gesture controls, but with every saber obviously it sounds better with the outer casing on. Screw that guy all the way on. I did originally print a cap for the lower section of the speaker so that you couldn't see up inside it, but it was softening the sound too much, it was sucking out too much of the bass, so I got rid of that. But I might play around with a solution to make it so that you can't see up inside the guts of the saber, but I suppose it's not that bad now. Blade plug unscrews with this top one. This lower thumb screw, I guess it's a thumb screw but it's not knurled, is holding in the crystal chamber and the neopixel emitter, so don't unscrew the front black one. In fact, I've actually put a tiny bit of super glue on the threads of that one just to lock it in place. It's this one here, the silver one, that you'll be wanting to mess with. Slide the blade plug out. Obviously your blade plug now is really short now that it's been repaired, but it fits nicely on top of the neopixel emitter, which you can see inside there. Standard deal takes a 7/8 inch blade. Slide it down until you feel the kind of the sponginess of the pins, and then fasten things in, and away you go. All the usual things. We did do some custom blade styles for some of these, so there's a couple sound fonts on here that are quite unique, and you just kind of let me go wild with the blade styles on them. So I tried to match it to where the person who made the sound font has done a demo video. I tried to match it to their demo video. So this is the, I believe, Kyber weapon from Juansith. It might be Juansith, I'm not sure. That's that one. It's a fun one. And of course you've got this one on here. Mad. And then you enter the Kybers Workshop fonts and you can cycle through those as well. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this one. It's relatively straightforward install apart from all of the hurdles that we have to overcome in getting it there. Just checking to make sure I haven't missed anything. Like I said, it's been through a lot of hands, so it has a lot of character. I can see why Adam likes this one and is holding on to it. And hopefully I've done the install justice. It's all lit up and swooshy and swingy, and it sounds great. It's really loud, nice and durable. Obviously, because this design has a really, really thin neck here, it looks really unique, but installing it was a pain because the channel for the wires here is very small, and we had to run up a lot of wires to access the switch box, the neopixels, the crystal chamber, and then bring everything back down into the chassis. So getting that to work was quite tricky, but I'm really happy with the way it came out. Really happy with my first time printing in nylon. The tolerances are a little different, so it took a couple tries to get the sizing of everything right, but once we got there in the end, really happy with the end result. I did hit the chassis with a little bit of rub and buff as well, just to kind of bring up some of the details. I'm not sure if you could be able to see that on camera or not, but yeah, apart from that, it's a fairly straightforward install, just needed a custom chassis. Really happy with the result. Hope you like it, Adam. If you've seen anything in this video that looks off to you, give me a shout. If not, I will get this guy boxed up and finally sent out to you after all this time. But yeah, I hope you're happy with it. Loads of fun, really loud. I did include in your little baggies some of the bits and pieces that it came with. Some like the busted switches and the original quartz crystal, which was in the crystal chamber, which was absolutely enormous. If you look at bluemamba's original video with this one with the crystal chamber in, the crystal's huge, it's insane. So I think this solution is maybe a bit more elegant with the smaller quartz crystal provided by Adam over at Kennedy Custom Props. But I'm really happy with the end result on this one. I hope you like it. Like I said, any questions, any concerns, give me a shout and we'll get them fixed up. But other than that, thanks for watching, guys. May the force be with you. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.